Okay, we are making a new Python video. What I'm going to try to show you today is how just to read in Excel data and CSV data. So here, I'm in my folder right here. I'm in this 2024 folder, and I already have a notebook and an Excel. So let's open up an Excel. So click on there. Excel's going to open. I'm going to see how it does. I'm actually opening. It's going to take a second. And here we go. You can still like everyone else's. And here we have our Excel book there. This is just like what you would expect from an Excel notebook, right? So it has your columns, the different codes. I downloaded this from the internet. It's a data set, and we're going to be looking at share of electricity in the U.S. since 2000. I just want to look at what percentage of coal in the U.S. since the year 2000. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to read that in. So if we go back to Python, Anaconda, you can see here's my Jupyter notebook. I'm going to go to that folder. That's always the easiest thing, so I know where it's pretty deep on my computer, so you can see me click a lot, but I want to show you like this is what I do, right? And it's in my Python Spring 24. Then this is in my videos folder, which should be, where are you? There you go, ScreenFlow videos. Right, and then I have 2024, and here it is. So this is the one I had open previously. Here is this. But what I do is I like to move here, so now when I go, I can make a new Python 3 notebook. And this is I can put a little markdown in here, right? You can describe what you're going to do, right? I'm reading in and plotting Excel data, right? And there you go. What I do now, the first thing I do to put all the headers, I never type them out. I always go back and copy them from somewhere. So here's an old notebook. I can copy them. I put them right in. I put the libraries in. I run it, and we're good. And what I did is I'm importing this pandas library today. This is for panel data, and you always import it as PD. So import pandas as PD. This way, you know, we can use the pandas functions. And what pandas is, so these panel data, it's really like you can read in and use Excel sheets in your Python. And how you always see this, they call it data frames. So you always see something df equals PD for pandas, read Excel, right? Do you remember hit tab to fill in, right? And then you put quotes, and we're going to look at the Excel file, right? And this is called share elect by source. So now if I go back there, I can start typing share, hit tab, and there it is. But the only thing, this tricky thing is, this Excel sheet has multiple sheets. You see this? So you have to tell it which sheet you're going to read. So always be careful with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this sheet. So I'm going to copy this title. Then we're going to go back to Python. I'm going to hit sheet, typo, sheet underscore name. I hit tabbed again, quote, U.S. electricity since 2000. I can put a return here so we can see it all. And I can run that. Right, and it looks like nothing happened, but this went dark, so it read it in. So now if I type df, right, it's in here. So if you just type df for data frame, you sort of see it, right, and it looks sort of how it does on Excel, right? This is nice. You have your Excel here. You can see it. Now I go back to Python. It is here, right? So you can see the two, right? And so now you know it's there, but just so you know, like sometimes if you do print df, it doesn't come out as nice. Like somehow you just want to type df when you need to look at something, so it's nicer. The first thing I always do is I type df.columns. And this gives you all the column names. So this way it's easier to look at things. So if you ever need to look at a column, we're going to make a plot of year versus percent coal usage. So if you ever need to look at a column, you can just go df square brackets year, you put it in, you run it, and we just have that year. So we're making a graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type x equals that. Right, so we're going to make our scatter graph. Then we want coal percent electricity. So so now we can do df of coal percent electricity. We put that in here. Right, there's the data, and we're going to say y equals that. And now we have that data. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to clean up. I'm going to put all this into one cell. So I'm going to put these into one cell, clean up a little bit, see they're there. And now the easy part is you can now easily make a fig comma ax equals plt dot subplots, right? Remember This turns on our graphs, right? This turns on the figure and the axes. Then all you got to do is x.scatter x comma y like you're used to, and we have our graph. There's even easier ways to plot, but this way is a pretty good start if we're going to be then doing line fit. So you have it going. The one thing I do want to show you next is now for reading CSV files. Sometimes you end up with CSV or comma separated values, right? These are common data files. Let's go back and look. So imagine you needed to create a CSV file. In Excel, you can go to File, Save As, and you can actually see one of these file formats is MS-DOS CSV. So we can save it like that. It puts a CSV up here. I'm going to hit Save. Right, then look, this workbook cannot be saved in the selected file format because it contains multiple sheets. A CSV can't do multiple sheets. So it's only going to save the most, like the sheet you have selected. So you click OK and it only saves the active sheet. Right, so now I'm going to close this file. If we go back, now if we look in our folder, see we have a CSV and an Excel. So if I click on the CSV, right, it's here, but look, it only has one sheet. So you lost all that other data, so be careful. And this isn't Excel still, this is still CSV, it's just opened in Excel. So I'm going to close it again, go back, but now what you can do, so if you want to see what a CSV actually looks like, right click on it, open with text edit, because this is really just, you'll see what it is. See, this is just a text file where every column separated by a comma. See, it's all these comma separated values, right? So you can see these are all the headers, right? And then here's all the values. And if there's something missing though, just put 2 commas in. We actually don't have that because this has all the data, but you'll see that. So this is just a text file, right? You can't open an Excel file like this. So this is sometimes, you'll see it's because it's independent of different like machines and programs. So I'm going to close this. And if we go back to Python, right now for reading it, we can just do df equals read underscore CSV, right? Oh, sorry, I forgot the PD for pandas, PD dot read, right? CSV. Oh, I hit the store. And then we can just put in the file, hit tab, so we're going to want .csv. I'm going to run it. And now if you look when I type df again, it looks the same, right? So it's the same data, it just came in from a CSV file, and you can do everything with it. So hopefully this will show you how it's easy to read Excel, it's easy to read CSV. I use them both. Excel is nice because you can keep, right, you can update things in Excel. So if we open up our Excel file, open recent, we'll go back. Right, you open your Excel file, so you can keep your data in Excel and then do your analyses in Python. So you're sort of keeping your data organized, keeping it clean, and then you have a nice clean way to do your analyses, which is easier than Excel. So I think that's usually how I do it, except for really large files that sometimes are better at CSV, or sometimes when you download things from from data sharing sites, they'll be in CSV. But now at least you'll better read in both, we can plot both, and I think you'll be off to the races. Good luck.